All because that one guy wouldn't sell me it. I hope that, like, loading a previous save re-enabled it. Otherwise, that kind of sucks. Hello.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terrormorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all three Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor.
A Terrormorph apocalypse.
That's quite the leap, Captain. Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting.
This guy also
No
sounds
one would
familiar.
argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy. Terrormorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask how many deaths the cabinet requires to act. 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt, the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties. Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain.
I
As the one
mean,
who actually collected the sample in question, did this Terrormorph seem at all alarming to you?
alarming. Beast Hunter. You know what? Yeah.
I can second, Madam President.
Using
What I saw
my
from the report
previous
reinforces the idea
knowledge.
that this was an anomalous spawning. The other factions are as at risk as we are.
Huh. A fine point, Dr. Kulkarni. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
That's literally what I'm asking. Personally, I would wait. I have two options of no and one of yes.
Whatever risks exist, they are outweighed by this imminent threat. I agree. The request should be granted.
I'm inclined to agree.
As am I.
I suppose that does get to the heart of the point, doesn't it? Very well. I consent. The galaxy was lucky you were here today, Captain.
You and I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat. So, if there are no other objections, I believe we can agree to give our full backing to make the request to...
Oh, explosion.
Attention. An incident has occurred. Facility lockdown engaged.
Incident? Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terrormorphs.
Oh, of course.
Terrormorphs. More attacks. Just
Don't worry, I
as
got this.
predicted.
Good God.
Oh no.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later.
Don't worry, I got
Chief
this.
Sergeant,
Just look at
order
me.
the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming, and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, ma'am. Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get
Alright,
down there.
let's go. Thanks for lifting the lockdown to allow me out.
You! The EM rifle, grab it!
What?
Now!
Stop! We're trying to help you!
Please! I can't stop!
That's it. Now hit him.
Oh, they're giving me a non-lethal gun. Oh.
With
Dang
everything
it.
you've got. Come on. Oh, no, this isn't.
You thought you could beat cowards.
Huh. Okay.
Stun them! Do it now!
Lights out. Finish.
Okay. Should I shoot him a bit
Thank
more?
God that's over with.
Okay.
Thank you for what you did. We didn't want to hurt them.
The way those people were acting. I've seen this before.
Wait.
They were under the Terrormorph's influence, weren't they?
Influence.
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Well, this is
Pheromonic
this is new.
projection. Some Terrormorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready. I honestly was just wondering the same thing. But no, you don't need to worry about me. I've had a Terrormorph try it on me before. I'm not susceptible. So we'll just have to make sure to watch out for each other down there.
Alright.
I'm not suggesting. The result of the projection, though, can vary, and some lose those cases. Let's do it.
Nat's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
Alright. Well, this is an interesting quest. I kinda wish I hadn't sold my specialty gun, but I didn't really like the whole, you know, non-lethal thing. It didn't really appeal to me for some reason.
God, no time to waste, Captain. Stash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's move.
Oh. Stash the EM? Alright, let's go.
Don't just stand there. Good.
Don't worry, guys, I got this. There we go. Wait, was it just one?
Heaven forbid something escaped their notice.
My head seems to be...
Officer, are you and this woman...
My head seems to be, expelling blue sludge.
Right now. We've got
Is
the
that
remaining
good?
creatures locked down on the landing pad, but we're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before. Well, one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
You better owe me some ammo later. Oh, hey. You got a minigun.
Heard you might be looking for some backup. You say the word, we're out there on your 6.
You
Yeah.
two have any experience with Terrormorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here. But we know how to handle pressure.
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make you more liability than asset.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us.
Alright.
Roger that. We're on you.
You've got a minigun, so I trust you.
Just gotta have a death wish.
Hold on, I got some food to eat, right? Plus 2 XP gain for 15 minutes. And a baguette to wash it down. Alright, so there's 2 left. Am I shooting? No. Gotcha. Quickly take all his fiber. Alright. What we're gonna do is real stealthy.
Attack!
Oh, crap. Run and gun! Ah, there we go.
Target down! Nice work, Captain!
Thank
The
you.
rest of the city is safe, thanks to us. You deserve whatever accolades you have coming.
Better have touched my ship. I'm gonna be pissed. Given how little armor you get from, like, your actual clothes, you probably could play the whole game naked.
Guess they weren't kidding about you two. Universe put the right people in the right place.
All in a day's work, Sergeant.
Like hell it is. I don't want to think what would have happened if you two hadn't been here.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terrormorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Alright.
Attention. The spaceport has been secured.
Am I going to be alright?
Please wait for the all-clear signal before exiting your homes.
You guys can give the all clear. It's all dead. So that's why they tell you to be ready, I guess. Like, We don't know how long this meeting is going to take. Oh, because it's also combat. Hi there, folks.
Let your people all know how much we owe them today.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, there you are. I believe we have some things we should discuss.
Where's the guy who was doubting me earlier?
Citizens, they're not killing anymore.
Captain? Hadrian? It would appear that the cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today. As well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terrormorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Better late than never, I suppose.
Of course. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the Terrormorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we got the data in hand, we want you investigating
promoting me
these
too,
attacks
right?
and how to stop them.
Like
Will you do
Captain
this?
2?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play.
I'm sure we'll go there, and there will also be
Someone
Terrormorph
who
attacks.
knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative.
Me? I'm just some Vanguard nobody.
We see your atypical background as a strength, not a hindrance. The people you'll be dealing with, they're rather atypical themselves. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data.
Well, I would hope so.
Will you help us?
And what do I get for being a UC citizen? They should probably have... I should probably know that by this point, but I'll
It has
ask.
its perks. Only citizens can purchase property in the city. We also pay reduced prices on most goods and services across the UC.
Actually
There's also
good.
credit disbursement when you first join. Help get you on your feet. But above all, you'd become a dedicated part of the greatest faction in the galaxy. If you're willing to help us, we can open that door.
You can count on me, ma'am.
Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy
got ammo?
McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
Ooh, 10k credits.
I'm gonna go check in with Chief Engineer Kulkarni. Start getting a plan together for that data.
Okay. You can count on me.
The next time Terrormorphs rear their ugly heads, the UC is going to be ready.
I like the little slap of the feet.
Vanguard Captain. You... Yes, sir. I'll make sure they get what they require.
Yes, hello. I am the Vanguard Captain. I like your fishbowl.
That must make you my Vanguard Captain. Welcome to Interstellar
Nice hair.
Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second-in-command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude. I was also informed that you gave quite the presentation to the cabinet. Chief Yassine wants you to know the Interstellar Affairs Office is fully committed to this endeavor. Accessing the Terrormorph data and beyond. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you have the tools you need. And that means first getting you into the archives. You do know what the archives are, correct?
Someone paid attention in current events. So, then you also know that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun.
Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Varun to hand over their codes. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said than done.
Some sodium pentanol?
I couldn't agree more. However, both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate.
And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here.
The bribery isn't.
Can't get creative.
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing
Or
with.
blackmail.
Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Varun?
You know, I'm interested in House Varun.
Ambassador Balmore's a challenge.
When the rest of House Varun retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmore stayed here.
He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, so there's real hope he might again. Though claiming to know how a member of House Varun thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval.
They're just like us. They're a bunch of madmen.
Yes, just like us. How magnanimous of you.
Why am I talking to a wall?
But there is another wrinkle. We're not 100% sure Balmore is actually still alive.
Oh.
His public appearances were always rare, but it's been several years now since he last poked his head out. Scans of the facility show life signs, but not the kind we were expecting.
Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his duties under the armistice.
Okay.
The embassy is still legally House Varun's sovereign territory, so we're not technically permitted inside. We've snuck in the occasional spy, of course, but the ambassador has proven more evasive than you'd expect for a man of his age. But we're quite sure he hasn't left the city. The man stands out.
In what way? What if he's dead?
Then you search the embassy for his biometric key, collect your code piece, and we'll go about notifying his next of kin, if we can ever find them. But let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Okay. I'll track him down.
I have no doubt. Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you access. Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security in there.
Of course. Alright. Well, tell me about this guy, Andy.
The good Ambassador Radcliffe.
We got more dialogue to hear.
She's a veteran of the Colony War, and her only goal in life is to make ours miserable.
It sounds as though I will enjoy this.
Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her.
Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend her support.
And who knows? Maybe that'll work. Stranger things have happened. But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code. Certainly. See, good diplomacy is all about the careful application of pressure. We just need to find the squeeze. UC Intelligence has a recording device.
Oh, don't worry, we're good at
in
squeezing.
Ambassador's living quarters, which we suspect you can use to your advantage. But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself in an embassy holding cell. So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen. Now, we recovered some intel we believe should be able to help with that. But there's also a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for information. Maybe even convince to work with you.
Okay.
Name's Cameron Long. He's younger
Cameron
than Ratcliffe.
Long?
There's less of a grudge towards the UC. He works closely with the ambassador, making him a promising source for information on the ins and outs of embassy life. And someone who very likely hates her guts.
Yes, many. Don't steal anything. Don't get caught anywhere you're not supposed to. Absolutely.
Don't get caught
do
stealing
not harm
anything.
anyone. If something goes wrong, we'll do our best to smooth things over, but I can't make any promises.
All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up, you're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door otherwise.
And take these. Chief Yassine wanted you to have some options on how to proceed in there.
Now, if you have additional questions,
Another 10K
require
credits.
clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to ask. I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff's mind. Be smart out there, Captain.
Alright. We'll start with them, I suppose. Seems like I kind of have to. Yeah. And so even though I asked about one of them first,
Pardon.
they forced me to do the other one. That's fine.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work.
Of course he does. Actually, kind of surprised no one comments on you, you know, being naked.
Please refrain from engaging in any
I feel like in
I asked my boss what they're doing to stop new alien attacks on the city. He said top minds were on it.
I feel like in Skyrim they'd be like, would you put some clothes on?
Yes. They build a monument to the people they lost, but not the people they killed.
Alright, Freestar
Noticed that
Collective.
The Colony War Memorial is in direct line of sight of this embassy. I suspect that was very much intentional.
So I said, don't steal anything on here. Well, luckily, succulents aren't stealing.
You our visitor? You'll find the ambassador in her office. Go on through.
You're coming with me. Sorry.
Visitors are only allowed in the lobby.
I wonder how many times one side or the other has threatened to close this embassy down over the years.
Vending machine. Like, okay. Choco Bites cost 75 credits. That dude gave me like 1,800 for like the whatchamacallit? The rights to that drug